Well, the SPFL have issued a statement and a major update on the Dundee v Rangers game, which was postponed for the second time yesterday, much to the annoyance of the SPFL, and Sky TV and Rangers Football Club, due to the state of the Dens Park pitch and the unprofessionalism and negligence of Dundee FC, although they did try to blame it on global warming. Hey, I've heard it all now. Anyway, the statement that the SPFL have made is quite revealing and offers an alternative to playing at Dens Park. This is the statement that has been released by the SPFL. So it says, Dundee v Rangers game SPFL update. A spokesperson for the SPFL said, we confirmed yesterday that the Dundee v Rangers game is rescheduled for 8 p.m. on Wednesday, April 17th at Dens Park, live on Sky Sports. We have been in extensive discussions with both clubs about arrangements if for whatever reason the match cannot be played at Dens Park on Wednesday. These include the possibility of the match being moved to an alternative venue. We will confirm these arrangements as soon as possible, well in advance of Wednesday's match. So a very interesting update coming out of the league, and a very, very interesting statement indeed by the SPFL as regards this fixture. So, this is very much in line with what is being suggested. Now, a lot of people have kind of said that maybe the game should be forfeited and that the points should be awarded to Rangers. It looks very unlikely that the SPFL will go down that route. I don't think they have the backbone for it. I don't think they have the courage for it. And I don't think they want all the legal ramifications that could have come as a result of that, not only from Dundee, but also from other teams who are in contention for the league title, naming no names in particular. So, as Philippe Clement mentioned about moving this game, that, what's to say that it doesn't rain again and the pitch is not in a fit state to be played upon. Now, Dundee do not play at home this weekend. They head up to Pittodrie to take on Aberdeen, so Dens Park pitch will not be used this weekend. However, if it rains again in the Dundee area, or there is sustained periods of rain in the Dundee area, given the state the pitch is currently in, it will not be playable again, which would suggest that the alternative venue that has been mentioned by the SPFL is very much on the table. Now, this, of course, will get a lot of people talking about where this possible venue could be, where they could switch it to, given ticket implications, supporter implications. Certainly I don't think Rangers would support playing the game behind closed doors. That would be, again, it would disadvantage the 4,000 fans that have bought tickets to watch this game. And it certainly would not be a good spectacle for Sky as well to see a game played by two teams in a silent stadium. We saw that obviously during the COVID era. Now, in the statement, the SPFL said that we will confirm those arrangements as soon as possible, well in advance of Wednesday's match. So therefore, what is well in advance of Wednesday's match? When is reasonable to change this fixture? When is practical to change this fixture in terms of ticketing, in terms of facilities, in terms of everything? This is a complicated situation that the clubs are in, particularly Dundee, of course, and the Football League. If the game was to be moved to another stadium, then what would be the implications for seating arrangements, for which end goes to which club, for people obviously transferring tickets, etc., and where is practical to hold a game like this one? There's a lot of complications in, and for the SPFL to come out and say that there will be a decision, in as soon as is possible, well in advance of Wednesday's game. It needs to be more than well in advance of Wednesday's game. It needs to be pretty much made this weekend, realistically, if anything is going to happen. Now, some people have mentioned a deadline of Tuesday lunchtime. Well, Tuesday lunchtime for me is nowhere near enough time to reorganize ticketing, to reorganize spectators moving. It just would smack of amateurism and a lack of organization on behalf of the SPFL. Dundee are obviously going to be anxious for the game to be played at Dens Park to give them the best opportunity to upset Rangers on that stodge of a pitch, and given the fact they're chasing a top 6 place with Motherwell and Hibernian, are hot on their heels. So it all comes down to when will the decision be made. how long will Dundee be given to get their pitch into a fit state? This is all part of this question. As to what is happening. You look at Dens Park in terms of the stadium at the moment, and it is a piss poor state, and it really does need something doing to it. And I know that the reason why Dundee are not investing in their pitch and investing in their facilities is because they want to move grounds. But at the moment, there is nothing, and no ground has been broken yet. Nothing has happened. So Dundee are going to be in the same position next season. The weather in Scotland is not going to change. So the SPFL, for me, have to insist that they do take up work on that pitch to improve the drainage, to improve everything else. It's just a fact. Now, Dens Park, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware, holds a capacity of 11,850. A very small ground. One ground that was possibly talked about as a possible replacement for this game was St Johnstone. Some people talk about moving the game to St Johnstone, to McDiarmid Park. That holds 10,696. So automatically you've got an issue there over ticketing, over the location of away supporters, etc., unless the plan is, of course, to try and sell tickets in advance or to do tickets on the day, which obviously is very dangerous because then you can get away fans and home fans mixed together. There is a whole series of implications that comes off this. How do you organise it? And I don't trust the SPFL to organise anything. I think they could organise a piss up in a brewery, if I'm being honest with you. There is a whole series of questions. There's also rumours around and reports around that maybe just possibly that the game could be switched to Ibrox, given the fact that obviously Ibrox will be, and always will be, and always has been in a fit playable state. But then Dundee are not going to want to switch to Ibrox to this game been a home game for Rangers, even if they are designated as the home team, because of the fact that Rangers obviously will have the advantage playing on their own pitch, playing with that fantastic surface, and will take away any advantage that Dundee hope to get by playing in a smaller environment on a stodger of a pitch. The SPFL really are opening a massive can of worms. Now, whilst I agree that if the game cannot take place at Dens Park, it should be moved, you've got to look at how that game is moved, the practicalities of how that game is moved. You've got to take into consideration something that repeatedly is not done by the club at Dundee, and by the SPFL and the SFA. Supporters, fans, the people who are the lifeblood of our game. Their needs, their comfort, their convenience seems to be ignored on a frequent basis by these governing bodies. And for me, it's an absolute disgrace. It genuinely is. Whilst like I said, I do support moving the game, you've got to do it at a very early date if you are going to sort out ticketing, if you are going to sort out travel, if you are going to sort out supporters coming to the game, unless this is going to be played behind closed doors, in which case it is a damn disgrace. And again, will not be a good spectacle for Sky, and not be a good spectacle for Scotland, and will not paint the SPFL, the SFA or the league in any good state to those outside of Scotland. The SPFL, the SFA and Dundee have to really think about the reputation and image of the game rather than themselves. And that's a difficult one for a lot of clubs. But, we have a historic opportunity here. 44 million people watched that fantastic Old Firm game at the weekend. If we continue to serve up embarrassments like the one yesterday at Dens Park, and postponement after postponement, and the fact that we can't get a pitch or a game on because it's raining, you are going to push people away from the game that possibly would have wanted to come to watch Rangers play against Dundee, that possibly would have wanted to watch it on telly, that would have increased the audience for Scottish football. The bigger the audiences that Sky get, the more likely you are to get better Sky deals also. So look, this is a whole series the SPFL need to think about and the SFA need to think about when taking this decision. It's a complicated one. I don't envy them it, but they need to act in the right way. They need to seek advice, and they need to make sure that they put the supporters first. Will they? Of course they won't. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. As always, guys, please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. On the way out, two things I always ask of you. Number one, smash the like, because likes help videos grow. And number two, remember always, we are the people.